Speaking of battleships, I'm pleased to see that Scott, Aussie Trekkie, has started working on his Bismarck again. And I was kind of disappointed there when he quit. Now he's doing his much more detailed than I did mine. He's using the detailing kit and some other add-on stuff to make it look better, and it is going to be a lot nicer looking than mine. It'll be much more, as one of the viewers put it, it'll be a lot more crisp. And yes, it will be good. But the reason I'm telling you is because it could well be that some of you stopped watching his channel or following him because as I did, I quit because he stopped working on the Bismarck. And I wasn't interested in anything else except the ships at the time. Now, I think I probably mentioned this before. In fact, I know that I have, but just in case there's somebody that doesn't know this, that it was Scott's channel that really got me going on model ships. And I watched quite a few of the early episodes just over 3 years ago before I built my model table here and so on. So Scott, I don't know if you're listening, but I'm sure glad to see you back, and with the model ships, that is. Not that you haven't been doing other stuff that's good too, but it's just not of interest to me. Okay, that being said, let's get on here with my model. I know lately I've been mentioning a lot of other creators and model builders and YouTube creators, but I think that there's lots to go around here, lots of viewers to go around, lots of good stuff on the internet regarding model making and so on. Okay, I'm starting to ramble here again, aren't I? Let's just carry on and try and get this part over here where it's supposed to be. Okay, you will recall that I was concerned about the fact that this fuzzy thread that I draped over top of the mast here and around this boom is probably going to leave a paint mark. But I was saying that I can paint over that. I can see where the paint is sort of, you might say, built up a little bit. And, whoops. I do that a lot lately. So I'm just removing one of the pins out of the corner here. Very gently, of course. And we will try and take this off now. Let's see what's going to happen when we pull this loose. It's kind of stuck on there, isn't it? So you got to kind of grab hold of it and hold against myself while I pull it. Oh my, did that ever stick on there? I didn't expect it to stick on there quite that much. No. Okay, that's that one loose. Now this one here, it goes behind the ladder, so obviously I can't feed that through. I'm going to just have to snip this off. Whoa, run, careful. I have better scissors. Why didn't I pick them? There we go. Okay. All right, we got it off. Now, you might say this whole thing should be loose to the point where I should be able to pull it up out of the Yeah, there we go. See? All right, let's see if we can fit it on the deck. If you remember, we drilled out the deck just a little bit so that it would be a loose fit. And so far we have managed to not bend these things too badly out of shape, and they're still on. All right, I think I'll just put it back in there for the time being. I should mention that I have reactivated my other grandfather movement. It's probably going to gong at any minute, and probably for the first little while it's going to be wrong. It usually takes about 2 hours for it to get itself organized, you might say, so that it's gonging out the right time. But I've backed the clock off so that it will not gong at the same time as the one you've been hearing for the last couple of days. Anyway, yeah, once again, I'm rambling again. Now, I have already removed the thread from the other 3 pins. And if you will recall, I was mentioning how, in all likelihood, I'd have to scrape this off. And I was quite impressed with the way that CA glue sticks to metal. In other words, the metal pin. Now I can break it loose here. There we go. But you notice here how well the CA sticks to metal. So that's probably why it sticks to the photo etch so well. Anyway, enough about nothing here. Okay, we're sort of viewing everything from, you might say, a different perspective here. And I'm going to try my best not to get my hands in your way, but that might not work out. Now, this part here has got to be pulled up a bit. Otherwise, I'm going to end up bending it. Okay, now when I drop this positioning pin in place here, I don't want this to dig in and bend the cable. It does not seem to want to go. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's going to be all right. It's resting on the roof of this thing here, so that's going to be all right. Now, what about these little things down here? Are they going to be pushing down on the deck and buckling when I shove this down? See, what I think I'm going to do is, once I get it into place, I'm just going to put a little bit of extra thin. That is basically in place. I'll reposition the camera and we'll zoom in on this area here. Okay, now this is my thinking here, and I'm probably going to have to get the camera out of the way to do this. But what if I was to lift it up just enough and get a little bit of solvent glue under there? I can use either the Revell or the extra thin, and then just rely on it to dissolve the plastic around the positioning pin that's on the bottom of those this thing here, and then it will sort of adhere itself into place. I mean, once again, I'm sort of thinking out loud. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. At first I thought maybe the extra thin, but now I'm thinking maybe the Revell might be better. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to pull the camera back out of the way so I can, get my hands in here. I know what I can do. I can put on my 120 millimeter lens, and then I can have the camera back and still be looking in nice and close like we are right now. Okay, I realize that the depth of field isn't as good as it was, but at least I can get my hands in here now. And let's do the easiest one first. Now, very carefully grab hold of this. And okay, we'll just sort of try and work it in. Well, that was the other clock, by the way. I think that's going to be all right. All right, let's go ahead now and do the main one. Oh, I put too much on. Okay, let's just let that set. I think to do this back one here, I should spin the ship around. Okay, we are turned around, obviously, and I'm guessing that probably about 5 or 6 minutes, maybe more, has passed here now. And because I'm going to be shoving this back to raise up this leg, maybe I'd be better off using my finger. Okay, now let's try not to put so much on, Ron. Now I do have a plan. All right, now. Once again, I'm going to have to use my fingers because I can't really feel the pressures very good with a... no, I want that to stay down. How am I going to do that? I don't want to hold this all day. Okay, now on the bottom of that main mast part, I'm thinking that if I was to maybe paint it with all the way around with a dark gray, it might look like a flange. Okay, how is this working out now? That was just to push down on it somewhere here. Well, I'm going to turn the camera off and I'm just going to hold it. Now, we did try this before we painted everything, but I think it should fit. And if it doesn't, well, I guess the paint will scrape off the sides. There we go. I think it's... no, it's not down into the bottom hole, is it? Doesn't want to go down into the bottom hole. It's almost like the... gotta be careful how I grab onto this here. Well, let's swing it around the way it's supposed to go. All right, now maybe what I'm going to have to do is take a pair of pliers and squeeze this together so that this one right here is closer to this one. You know what I mean? Now maybe you're too far back to see what's happening. Maybe I should be repositioning here. Now we have to lift this up. I almost need two holder downers going on here. Okay, if we use Mr. T's poking device. Alright, now this one here, very gently, we have to try and get that hook. And we were wondering if we'd accidentally painted that hole over. I'm going to have to reposition here. I can't do this steadily. It's kind of interesting to note that when this boom is in the down position, it fits quite nicely into this little bracket here that's supposed to hold it in place. And I guess that's the way, you know, if the ship was underway, that's the way it would be. This cable would be relaxed so that the boom would go right down. Only makes sense. But in the meantime, just ever so slightly there. Alright, now we want to make sure we get this the right way up. Like that. Ooh. No, is it going to fit now? I think it will. I'm pretty sure it will. I think we bent it enough that the bottom is going to just... Oh, come on, Ron. Oh, what's wrong here? There we go. Now, is that going to work? Yes. It sort of locks into the bottom one. Alright, now I'll reposition everything here so we can... okay. Guess I should be using this one here. Okay, now I can see what I'm doing. Now, is that little hook going to go through the hole, or are we going to have to try and poke the paint out of it? It could be that this ring is bent too far back. I'm going to just see if I can't just very, very delicately bend it back out a little bit here. I'm going to have to take it off. Yeah, I realize it's gone out of focus on you, but you know, I'm wondering if maybe I should take a little pin or something and poke it in the hole there. I'm going to just do that. Okay, I was debating on whether to using one of our new little drills that we got. You know, the okay there. And but then I noticed that I could see the point of the pin coming through from the other side. Now, okay, I think we're going to get it this time. Providing that I don't accidentally oh, it's coming out. Well, it's okay, we'll fix that later. Oh, whoa. I'm wondering, can I get my hands in here without breaking something and just maybe hold it with my fingers? Would that work better? No, I gotta hold it with something really delicate here. This is not working, folks. This is not working. You know, if the hook went, oh, I had it and then I bumped it out. I was just going to say, if the hook went down instead of up, maybe if I could go like that. I have broken it off. And it's fallen down here on the other side. Well, I'm going to have to think of something else. I do believe we can release it up here so that I can get this whole thing off. Or, unless I accidentally break it even worse, maybe use some easy line or something like that instead of this piece of photo etch. I don't know. I think I'm going to call it quits for today. It's 1 o'clock right now. So thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll see you tomorrow. Now, I've just had an afterthought here. Being as I'm having so much trouble fastening the boom in the 45-degree angle like that, And being as that it fits so nicely down in its stowed position, naturally, as we saw a moment ago, why don't I lay the boom down in the stowed position and use easy line instead of that photo etch cable? And I think I'm going to work on that this evening yet. All being well. Okay, now we'll see you tomorrow.